Have you ever felt that sudden, sharp drop in your stomach when your car tires slip just a fraction of an inch? That brief, terrifying millisecond where you lose control, and your mind flashes to the worst-case scenario. Now, imagine that feeling stretched out over hours, days, or even weeks. Imagine that a single slip doesn't mean a fender bender, but a plunge into an endless abyss, or being stranded in a frozen wasteland where the cold freezes your breath before it even leaves your lips. We take our daily commutes for granted. Smooth asphalt, painted lines, sturdy guardrails, and streetlights guiding us home safely. But across the globe, there are scars carved into the earth that mock the very idea of safety. These are not just routes from point A to point B, they are gauntlets. They are monuments to human stubbornness, engineering nightmares, and in many cases, open graveyards. Today, we are taking a journey to the absolute edge of survival. We are going to travel down the top 3 most dangerous roads on the planet. You will feel the thin, freezing air of the Himalayas. You will feel the bone-chilling isolation of the Siberian tundra. And you will look over the edge into the misty, bottomless canyons of the Bolivian Andes. Buckle up, grip the wheel, and do not look down. Our first nightmare begins in the towering, jagged peaks of the Gilgit-Baltistan region in Pakistan. We are heading to the Meadows Road. The name sounds like something pulled straight out of a children's fairy tale, conjuring images of lush green pastures and peaceful streams. And while the destination is indeed a breathtaking alpine meadow, the path to get there is anything but magical. It is a grueling, 10-mile stretch of unpaved, crumbling rock that has earned its reputation as the second deadliest highway on Earth. This road was not built by modern machines or planned by high-tech engineers. It was carved out of the sheer cliff face hundreds of years ago by the local villagers, using hand tools, and it has barely been upgraded since. To even begin this journey, you must abandon your modern vehicle. You have to hire a local driver in a battered, decades-old Jeep because nothing else can survive the ascent. As the Jeep lurches forward, the first thing you notice is the width of the road. Or rather, the absolute lack of it. For most of this 10-mile nightmare, the path is no wider than the wheelbase of the Jeep itself. There are no guardrails. There are no warning signs. There are no mirrors on the blind corners. On your left is a solid wall of jagged rock, scraping against the side of the vehicle. On your right is a sheer, vertical drop of thousands of feet into the raging Rykot River below. As you climb higher, the altitude begins to mess with your head. The air grows incredibly thin. Every bump, every loose rock that crunches under the tires sends a shockwave of panic straight through your spine. You can lean out of your window and look straight down into the gorge. There is nothing between you and a fatal freefall except a few inches of crumbling gravel. The road is completely unmaintained. When it rains, the dust turns to slick, unpredictable mud. In the winter, avalanches regularly wipe out entire sections of the path. And yet, this road remains the only way to reach the base camp of Nanga Parbat, a mountain famously known among climbers as the Killer Mountain. But the true terror of the Meadows Road isn't just the drop, it's what happens when you meet someone coming the other way. Because the road is entirely single lane, a head-on encounter with another Jeep is a logistical nightmare. When this happens, one vehicle has to reverse. Imagine being the driver who has to put their Jeep in reverse, driving backward up a steep, crumbling incline, blind, with their back tires literally kicking stones over a 1,000-foot cliff, just to find a cutout in the rock wide enough to let the other car pass. It requires nerves of absolute steel. You are putting your life entirely in the hands of the local drivers, men who drive this route daily, seemingly unfazed by the abyss waiting inches from their tires. When you finally reach the end of the drivable path, your journey isn't even over. You have to hike the final miles on foot, leaving the terrifying road behind. but knowing the whole time that to get back to civilization, you have to do it all over again. If the Fairy Meadows road terrifies you with its heights, our next road will terrify you with its history and its absolute, freezing desolation. We are leaving the high altitudes of Pakistan and plunging into the frozen heart of Siberia. This is the R504 Kolyma highway in Russia. But nobody calls it that. To the locals, to historians, and to anyone who has ever survived it, it is known simply as the Road of Bones. Unlike other dangerous roads that are perilous because of their geography, the Road of Bones is deeply, psychologically terrifying because of what it is built upon. Stretching for over 1,200 miles through the Russian Far East, connecting the towns of Magadan and Yakutsk, this road was constructed during the era of the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin. It was built entirely by the hands of hundreds of thousands of political prisoners from the Dalstroy Gulag labor camps. The conditions they faced were beyond human comprehension. They were forced to hack away at the permafrost with hand tools in temperatures that regularly plummeted to -60 degrees Celsius. They were starved, beaten, and worked to the brink of exhaustion. When a prisoner died, from the cold, from starvation, or from exhaustion, the ground was simply too hard, too deeply frozen, to dig a proper grave. So, the guards ordered the bodies to be thrown directly into the foundation of the road. Their bones were mixed with the gravel, the mud, and the permafrost. It is estimated that anywhere from 250,000 to over 1 million people died building this highway. When you drive the Kolyma highway, you are quite literally driving over a 1,200-mile-long mass grave. But the ghosts of the past are not the only things waiting for you on this road. The environment itself is actively hostile to human life. Yakutsk is widely considered the coldest major city on Earth, and the road passes through Oymyakon, the coldest permanently inhabited settlement in the world. If you choose to drive this road in the dead of winter, the cold is your absolute biggest enemy. The temperature is so extreme that metal becomes brittle and snaps. Engine oil freezes solid. Tires lose their elasticity and shatter like glass. Drivers who brave this road in the winter cannot turn their engines off. If an engine stops running, it will freeze within minutes, and it will not start again until the spring. If your vehicle breaks down out here, you are hundreds of miles from the nearest settlement. Cell phone service does not exist. The cold will seep into the cabin of your car, and within an hour, hypothermia will set in. In these conditions, a simple flat tire isn't an inconvenience, it is a death sentence. You might think that waiting for the summer is a better idea. It isn't. When the brief Siberian summer arrives, the top layer of the permafrost melts. The road, largely unpaved, transforms into a viscous, deep, inescapable swamp of thick brown mud. Massive cargo trucks sink up to their windshields. Drivers can be stranded for weeks at a time, waiting for the mud to dry or for heavy tractors to drag them out. And if the mud doesn't get you, the Siberian brown bears roaming the desolate wilderness might. The Road of Bones is a masterclass in isolation. It strips away all your modern comforts and reminds you of how fragile human life truly is against the sheer, unbridled force of absolute cold and endless wilderness. It is a haunting, miserable, beautiful stretch of earth that demands total respect, lest you join the thousands of souls already buried beneath its surface. We have survived the sheer drops of the Himalayas. We have survived the frozen, haunted expanse of Siberia. But now, we must face the undisputed king of dangerous roads. We are traveling to South America, deep into the heart of Bolivia, to a road whose very name tells you exactly what to expect. El Camino de la Muerte. The North Yungas Road. The Death Road. For decades, this stretch of dirt and rock held the official, grim title of the world's most dangerous road. At its peak in the 1990s, It was estimated that 200 to 300 travelers were killed on this road every single year. That equates to a vehicle plunging off the edge every week. If you stood at the bottom of the canyon and looked up, the twisted, rusty metal carcasses of buses, trucks, and cars littered the dense jungle canopy like morbid metal confetti. The Death Road is a 43-mile journey that connects the high-altitude capital city of La Paz to the lower Amazonian town of Coroico. And this extreme change in geography is exactly what makes the road so lethal. You begin your journey at a staggering elevation of over 15,000 feet in the freezing, barren Altiplano. The air is thin, and snow is common. But as you begin your descent, the environment violently shifts. Within just a few hours, you are dropping down to 4,000 feet into the sweltering, humid, dense Amazon rainforest. This massive drop in elevation creates a unique and terrifying microclimate. Warm, moist air from the jungle rises and hits the freezing air of the mountains, creating perpetual, blinding fog. Heavy rains constantly lash the side of the mountains, turning the dirt road into slick, greasy mud and creating spontaneous waterfalls that crash directly onto the roof of your vehicle. You are driving through clouds, heavy rain, and mud, entirely blind to what is around the next corner. And the corners are everywhere. The road snakes and twists violently along the face of the Cordillera Oriental mountain chain. It is overwhelmingly a single-lane road, barely 10 feet wide in most places. But unlike the Ferry Meadows Road, this is not a quiet, isolated path. For decades, it was the only major route connecting the Amazon region to the capital. This meant it was packed with heavy traffic. Massive, overloaded cargo trucks, buses packed to the brim with passengers and livestock, and impatient local drivers all shared this tiny ribbon of dirt. Because the road is so incredibly narrow and heavily trafficked, the Bolivian government had to institute a unique, terrifying rule just for this specific highway. Throughout the rest of Bolivia, people drive on the right side of the road. But on the Death Road, you must drive on the left. Why? Because the driver needs to sit on the side of the vehicle that is closest to the abyss. You have to lean your head out of your window and watch your left tire. You must keep it literally inches from the edge of a sheer, 2,000-foot drop into the jungle below, just to ensure you leave enough room for a descending bus to scrape past you on the right. Imagine the scene. You are driving downhill in a heavy bus. The fog is so thick you can barely see the hood of your own vehicle. Rain is pouring down, turning the ground to slick clay. Suddenly, through the mist, the headlights of a massive logging truck appear coming straight at you. There is nowhere to pull over. You have to inch your bus to the left. You look down, and there is no road left, just the tops of the jungle trees 2,000 feet below. You can hear the metal of your bus scraping against the metal of the truck as it inches past you. The ground shifts slightly under the weight. You hold your breath, praying the crumbling cliff edge holds together for just a few seconds longer. For thousands of people, the edge did not hold. As you drive or cycle down the Death Road today, the landscape is marked by a continuous, tragic timeline. Every few hundred yards, there are clusters of wooden crosses, weathered photographs, and faded flowers tied to the rocks. These markers show exactly where a vehicle lost its grip, where a driver made a split-second miscalculation, where the mountain claimed more lives. Entire buses filled with dozens of men, women, and children have vanished over the edge into the fog, swallowed completely by the green canopy below, never to be recovered. Today, a massive modern bypass has been built, diverting the heavy truck and bus traffic away from the deadliest sections of the North Yungas Road. It is safer now. It has become a mecca for extreme mountain bikers who want to test their bravery against the ghost of the Death Road. But the road itself hasn't changed. The cliff is still there. The fog still rolls in. The crosses still stand as a grim reminder. still crumbling. We build roads to connect us, to bring the world closer together, to conquer the wild landscapes that separate our cities and our homes. But these three roads, the fairy meadows, the road of bones, and the death road, prove that nature cannot always be conquered. Sometimes the earth pushes back. Sometimes it demands a toll for our arrogance. These are not just paths of dirt, stone, and ice. They are ultimate tests of human endurance, courage, and sheer luck. They remind us that out there, beyond the comfortable, paved highways of our daily lives, there are still frontiers that are wild, untamed, and absolutely lethal. So the next time you complain about traffic on your morning commute, or get annoyed by a pothole on your street, take a deep breath. Appreciate the solid ground beneath your tires. Because somewhere out there, right at this very moment, someone is gripping their steering wheel, looking down into a bottomless abyss, and praying they make it to the other side.